Alrighty, welcome everybody. As always, if you'd like to sign in, feel free to. And if you have any updates you'd like to share, feel free to list them. I think this will be a quicker meeting today. We don't have too much to update on. It's been a busy few weeks personally. I haven't had a lot of time to work on Sigstore specifically. So yeah, I just can kind of jump into things. I'll share a couple updates for Recore V2, which has been our focus over the last few months, and a brief infrastructure update. We've been primarily focused on client support for Recore V2. And again, as a reminder, Recore V2 is focused on making Recore simpler to run and maintain and cheaper as well, by switching over from using Trillion, which is a set of services, to support a transparency log, to a library. The server code's been done for a bit. We've now shifted focus to infrastructure as our client work is wrapped up. So I think with the last update, we were almost done with client work. Now client work should be about wrapped up. So Sigstore Go support is complete. We have cut a new release with support for Recore V2. We do need to make an update in Cosign as well to plumb through support, so that you can have a CLI to actually test out Recore V2. Sigstore Python support's complete at head, and Sigstore Java is more or less complete at head. I think there's like 1 or 2 small changes going in, and then each of those clients will be doing an update. And I owe a message to the JavaScript and the Ruby clients to chat with them about adding support. I left in here an update from last time, which is if you want to test against staging, these are the instructions to do so. You need to provide a signing config, and then there's some instructions on how to test using a shell, though I'll update those for testing in client as well. Trying to think of anything else to mention with Recore V2. I think that's about it. One thing I'll mention is that we are going to be exercising sharding, meaning creating new logs quite frequently, which means that like this URL will at some point stop accepting write traffic. So this is also a way to make sure that clients are not ever baking in URLs. We very much encourage and require the use of Tough to pick up new clients, or sorry, new URLs. Yeah, I think that's about it for Recore. I'll mention as well, on the infrastructure side of things, we did a database upgrade last week. About a month ago, we switched over to a new database tier in the public good instance that lets us seamlessly switch over to higher and lower tier databases that let us configure CPU and memory. This is now, we can now do this without any downtime, which is great. So that upgrade happened last week. Nobody noticed. Worked as expected. Yeah, I think that's about it for updates. Was there anything else anyone wanted to share? Otherwise, Arthur, we can hop into your question.
I'll take that as I can go ahead. So one of my colleagues was concerned that, if we had a post-quantum cryptographic algorithm into like Cosign and Sigstore, would we have to make updates to both Recore V1 and V2? Because we currently have an instance of Recore V1 operating at Red Hat, and just want to be clear about whether we would have to maintain 2 instances separately.
So I guess a couple things. So with Recore V2, we've tried to build in algorithmic agility into the API. So you specify what algorithm was used to sign a thing. So that should make it a bit easier for experimenting with other algorithms. And like things are messy in Recore V1 around algorithmic registry support. So I think it's a lot cleaner in Recore V2. As for maintaining multiple instances, yes, so that's I think a decision that organizations will have to make. My recommendation would be organizations figure out a plan for switching over to Recore V2. That also means that if an organization controls all their clients, they should be able to do that seamlessly. If an organization, for whatever reason, can't update their clients to the latest version, then they'll need to maintain V1 and V2 concurrently. The signing config format, I don't know if this is a good example. It's a decent example of this. The signing config format was designed to support multiple API versions concurrently. So basically, you'd give it whatever your URL is for V1 and specify V1, and then any client that supports V1 only should be able to pick that up. One thing to mention is that, like, again, this is now a new format, so you also need an updated client to be able to support this. So it's a long-winded way of saying my recommendation for organizations would be figure out a path forward for upgrading a transparency log from V1 to V2, because you will see a significant reduction in cost for operating Recore V2. But again, that's a decision the organization has to make in terms of, like, can they get their clients up to date? Does that answer your question?
It does answer my question for me. Thank you.
Cool. All righty. Anything else anyone wants to chat about? All righty. Short and sweet. Hope everybody has a good couple weeks. See y'all online.
Thanks a lot. Bye.